Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the background, I am filming this right after my Pluto video, but today we're doing a crochet tutorial on how to make a protoplanetary disc like this one over here. The reason I'm doing this one first is because this pattern was the hardest within the crochet booklet that I made and is available on my website for free. And I really thought that this could benefit from a video being made first. Let's quickly talk about what you need. You need yarn, obviously, and you need a crochet hook. You might also, yes, you'll need some stuffing, which I don't have right now, and I didn't think about that. So what I'm going to do is use some of the yarn to actually stuff the star itself, and hopefully that should work out. When it comes to the yarn, I'm using DK yarn and the appropriate needle, albeit slightly smaller because I don't have access to my needle, my hooks, sorry. But you can use pretty much whatever you want. It's a model, it doesn't need to fit any sort of gauge swatch or anything, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to be using DK Prima yarn. It's the cheapest thing that I could find. Color-wise, you can use pretty much any color for the star, albeit within some scientific accuracy. So no green stars, no purple or magenta stars, no black stars. But apart from that, I think you should be fine. Today I'm going to be using yellow, mainly because it's the color of the sun, so I thought it would be the best thing. And then for the protoplanetary disc, if you want to err on the side of scientific accuracy, most protoplanetary discs are basically made up of a bunch of like hot hydrogen, so it's best to go with oranges and then reds and blacks if you want to like add a bit of definition and like sort of switch things up a bit. So that's what I've done over here. So you can see the black is essentially meant to sort of define the spirals and make it look like actual spiral arms, and then I've also used orange and red over here to add a little bit of depth. So with that being said, let's get started. So this is going to be my setup. Hopefully you can see stuff. I'm going to be right behind the camera standing up and trying to make this. So hopefully it shouldn't go too blurry, but I will stop and wait for things to focus if that's the case. So we're going to, excuse the hair dye on my hands, we're going to start with a magic loop, and within the magic loop we're going to make 6 single crochet, and that's going to start the base of the sphere. So magic loop, we just loop it around our hand, 2 fingers like that, and then we're going to loop over and cross over like that. I hold it with my ring finger like that, and then we're going to go under the first loop, over the second loop, twist. So you just pull it through. I'm just moving my fingers to show you, and then you can let go with the 2 wrapped fingers like that. Hold on to your tail, and now put your thumb onto the ring so it doesn't move. And you should have a loop on your crochet hook. Now to secure this loop, we're going to do a chain 1. I don't typically count chains as part of my stitches, so this won't count as a single crochet. We're going to do 6 proper single crochets. Now we're going to make our 6 single crochets. I make them with going under both the tail bit of the yarn and the ring itself, just to double up, you know, what I'm doing and make everything neater. So we're going to go under, pull the loop through. You're going to hear security walking around the place a little bit, sorry about that. And then we're going to pull another loop through, and that's a single crochet. We're going to do that again. So under, pull a loop through that, single crochet. So loop, crochet, another loop. Loop again, and then loop through those 2. One more time. There we go. Oh, how many have I done now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, so 2 more. 5. And then 1 more. 6. Fantastic. So I'm going to take this tail and pull it through, and that's just going to tighten up the ring. Going to tighten it down to nothing basically over there. You can see that. We're going to go into the first loop, the first single crochet. You can see that over here. Let's see, you can see that better. Yeah. Go through the top 2 bits of the single crochet, pull up a loop, and then we're going to slip stitch, and that's going to finish off that first round over here. So we've got a nice little circle. Great. So what we're going to do now is going on to the second round. So we're going to chain 1, and once again that does not count as a single crochet. And then in every stitch we're going to make 2 single crochet. So we're essentially doubling up our stitches. So we're going to start off with 6 and we're going to end up with 12. So in this next stitch over here, we're going to work 2 single crochets. So that's 1, and then we're going to go again, pull up a loop, and then that's 2. And then we're going to continue on . 12. Perfect. I need to stretch my back a bit. And so now we're just going to slip into that first single crochet again. So there we go. Oops. I'll do that again with it not being blurry. So you can see it's over there. Go through the top of that single crochet, pull up a loop, and just pull that one through. So in the next round, what we're going to be doing is, instead of doubling, we're going to double every other stitch. So we'll chain 1. That doesn't count as a stitch. I'll stop saying that from now on. And then we're going to do 2 stitches in the next single crochet, and then 1 stitch in the one after, and that's going to repeat. So we're going to continue on with that. So let's go into the next stitch. It's 1, 2, and then in this next stitch we only make 1 single crochet. 1. And then we should end up with 18 stitches for this round. And so I'm going to continue on with this and finish up this round, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, we're finally at the end. We've got 18 stitches. What I'm going to do is then go into the first stitch with a slip stitch, and there we have it. So for the next round we're going to do very similar. We're going to do the chain 1, make 2 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 in the next, and then 1 in the one after. So for round 3 we should have 24 stitches. So chain 1, oops, I should try and stay in view. We're going to do 1, 2 single crochets, and then 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and that's how we're going to repeat it. So I'm going to speed this up and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, we're on the final 2 single crochet, single, and then we go in with a slip stitch over there. Perfect. It will look a little bit hexagonal, and that's because we're stacking the increase stitches, so the 2 single crochet that gets put into 1 single crochet. That doesn't really matter because we're going to round it out anyways in the next few rounds. For the next rounds 4 and 5, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and then make 1 single crochet in each stitch, and then for round 5 you do the exact same. Chain 1, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet again, and we're going to repeat that up until the end of the round, where I'll meet you again. Okay, round 4 is now complete. Chain 1. I'm going to go on to round 5 and do the exact same thing. To continue on, we're going on to round 5 and we're going to be doing the exact same thing. So I've chained 1 and I'm going to be making 1 single crochet in every stitch. Okay, we've come to the end. I didn't realize that. And we're actually halfway through with making the star, which is fantastic. So we're going to slip stitch into that. And you can actually hopefully see that it's already halfway. You can see it's a hemisphere now and it's sort of curved over, which is great. That's exactly what we want. So for this round 6, we're going to be doing something very similar, but not quite. So we're going to chain 1, and then instead of 1 stitch into every single crochet that we made in the row before, we're going to be doing a back loop single crochet. And what this is going to do is it's going to open up this front loop so that we can attach the disc and make the disc as we're going attached to it, so without having to do any sort of sewing. So you can see at the top of the single crochets we have this sort of really nice chain that goes around, and so what we're going to do is we're going to only work onto that back chain. So we'll go into the back chain only over here, so you can see that I've left that front loop alone. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the yarn through and make a single crochet just as normal. So we're going to do that again, back loop only, pull up a loop, pull a loop through, and then we're going to continue and do that for the entire round. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, we're nearly done. We've only got 2 more to go. That one, and then this final back loop. Oops, missed it. There we go. And then we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet, just as normal. And you can see over here we've created a little loopy ridge, which is exactly what we want. So what we're going to do is when we make the actual disc itself, oops, can you see that? Yes, you can. What we're going to do is we're going to be making our stitches in this front loop. So we just go to one of the loops, oops, go under, and then we'll pull through the yarn and make stitches that way. Simple as that. So for round 8, what we're going to do is very similar to the previous rounds there. We're going to chain 1 and make a single crochet into each and every stitch, just normally this time. So we only need 1 ridge because we're only making 1 disc, and as far as I know we don't have any double disced protoplanetary discs, which if we did I think my lecturers would have told me about that. Okay, so we're going to be going on to round 8, so chain 1 and then single crochet in every stitch. There we go, slip stitch, and we're almost done. There we go. Now it looks like a really nice Viking helmet. So now we're going to do round 9, and so with the increase round, the last increase round we did a 2 single crochet increase, and then we did 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. What we're going to do now is exactly mirror that, and that's how we keep things nice and even. So we're going to do a single crochet 2 together, which is a decrease, and then single crochet, so it mirrors it quite nicely. And so that's how we're going to do round 9. We're going to chain, hold on, I just got very confused. I've realized I've just been saying the wrong rounds. This is actually round 8, but it doesn't matter. If you've been following along with me, you'll be fine. So we've chained 1, single crochet 2 together. So you pull a loop through the first one, a bit like a normal single crochet, and then through the next one you pull a second loop, and then you pull a loop through those 2. So those 2 stitches over there have just been made into 1 stitch in this round, which is exactly how we make a nice decrease. Yep, so then we're going to do single crochet 1, single crochet 2, and then we're going to repeat that 5 more times. So single crochet 2 together like that, 2 loops, and then pull through both of them, 1 single crochet, and then second single crochet. And we're already a third of the way there. Brilliant. Slip stitch into the first single crochet 2 together. That's the first stitch, and then yeah, you're basically done with that one. So for the next round we're going to do something very similar. We're going to do a single crochet 2 together, and then just 1 single crochet, and then you're going to repeat, so single crochet 2 together. And so we're going to do 1 single crochet 2 together, so pull through the loops through 2 stitches, and pull through those loops as well. 1 single crochet, and then 1 more single crochet 2 together. And so we're going to do this and alternate. And then we're going to go into the first stitch with a slip stitch, just like that. Now I'm just going to leave this there for a sec. The opening is actually quite small now, so this is the best time that we have to stuff the star itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this yellow yarn. Where did this one come from? There we go. Take off the band, and what I'm going to do is unravel a load of it. Then I'm going to just ball this excess yarn and just stuff it inside. There we go, I've got a big ball of yarn, and we're just going to quickly stuff that. Best thing to do, hold on to the working end and then just push it through with your thumb. There we go, that's all nicely stuffed. Just give it a little massage. A little bit pointy, there we go. And there's a stuffed sun. So now we can continue with the final rounds. Let's get back to where we were. And for this one, we're not going to be doing any lone single crochets. It's all going to be single crochet 2 togethers. So chain 1, single crochet 2 together, and then we're going to do that 5 more times. Slip stitch into that. Sorry, it's getting a bit blurry. And there we have it. So for the final round, you should actually make 6 single crochet 2. Oh no, that's exactly what I've done. That is the final round. Oh my goodness, I'm getting so carried away. So that was the final round. You can see that there's a tiny little hole there. What we're going to do is make a chain, and that's fastening off the yarn. So pull that so that the chain gets really tight. And then we're going to cut a fairly long tail. So there, and then we're going to pull that all the way through. And so if you've got a tapestry needle around, but you can use your crochet hook, we're going to weave this around essentially, a bit like how you finish off socks if you're doing them cuffed down, like I've been doing for the past year and a half. You can basically just weave it through and close this up. So I don't have a tapestry needle on me, so I'm going to do it that way. Pull it through. Oops, wrong way. Pull it through the next, whoops, you can't see that. The next stitch. Oops. Pull it through again. And so what you can then do, close it up, and then just either weave it around. If you're working with kids, you might actually want to knot up the yarn. I know that's technically a bit of a deadly sin when it comes to crochet and knitting, but if you know it's going to get sort of like bitten and thrown around, you might want to do that. And then let's cut off the yarn. Massage, give it a nice good massage. There we go. And there's your sun all complete, or star. Now what we're going to be doing is making the disc. So for this one I've used orange, red and black, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing for the one that I'm making right now. Mainly because of scientific accuracy, but to be fair, you can make a disc out of whatever colour you want. Just go crazy if you want. In a second, I'll be preparing all of the yarns and all the colours, and I'll be showing you how to make the disc. So for this protoplanetary disc, what we're going to be doing is we're not only going to be working 3 colours at once, so 3 working yarn ends, getting all tangled up, which is absolutely fantastic. What we're also going to be doing is working all 3 colours at once twice. So we're going to be working with 6 yarn ends at the same time. What I recommend you do is that with 1 ball of yarn, you can get 2 strands out of. You could use the tail from the inside of the yarn and then the tail on the outside, but that can actually get twisted very badly, and that might leave you a little bit more annoyed than you'd like to be. So what I recommend is you get the yarn from the inside if you can. If you get a yarn bath, that's actually ideal in this case. So what you can do is make a mini ball out of that, like this one over here, And so what you can then do is you have a separate yarn tail for both the colors. And with the smaller ball, what's ideal is that you can easily pick it through some of the yarn if it gets a little bit tangled and untangle it quite quickly, which is ideal for this. Right, so we're going to be working in the back loops that we made in the the equator, sorry, of this circle, this sphere, sorry. And so I'm going to make a slip knot, that's the one. And what I'm going to do is make a standing single crochet into any of these loops. So I'll just pick over here. There we go, we've put the crochet hook through. And then what we're going to do is get this tail out of the way and pull up a loop over here. And then what we're going to do then is pull another loop through both of these, and that's a nice single crochet. So then we're going to make 2 more single crochets in each of the next back loop. So there's 1, 2. So that's 3 single crochets we have in these back loops. And so then what we want to do is make a 2 half double crochet increase. So in this one loop, we're going to be making 1 half double crochet and then a second one over here. And that's going to increase the amount of stitches. Okay, so we should have 5 stitches now. What we're going to do is then pull this through. Don't cut anything, just leave it as it is. And now we're going to move on to the next color. And this is where the fun begins, really. Let's go with black. And so what we're going to be doing is the exact same thing, just 5 more times. So slip knot, I'm just going to pull up some more yarn. And then in the next stitch over here, we're going to, in the next stitch over here, we're going to make a standing single crochet just like the others. Oops. Okay, there we go. Pull up a loop, come on, you can adjust, there we go, and make a single crochet. Now I understand that it's quite difficult to see it when it's in black. Come on, man, focus please, there we go. Nope, come on, there we go. And so we're going to be making 3 of those. Oops, come on. 1, 2, 3. So we've got 3 single crochets. And then we're going to be making a half double crochet increase. So in the next loop, the next front loop, we're going to be making 2 half double crochets there. And so you can sort of see how this pattern is now emerging. So now I'm going to pick red. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. Oops. Make a slip knot. Now what I recommend when it comes to the tail ends here is, if this is a little bit complex for you, just do it at the end, weave them in at the end, so don't worry about them right now. So we're going to go into the next loop, and we're going to make a standing single crochet, and then we're going to be making 2 more single crochets, 1, 2, and then a half double crochet, 2 of them, sorry. And what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this again, so pull that loop, and we're going to go with the second bit of orange that we have, and so we're alternating it around. One half double crochet, 2 half double crochets. Perfect. So now we're on to sort of the second stage, if you will, of the spiral. What's important, I'll just leave that there for you to sort of see if you even can. What's important is that you don't make any chains and slips because otherwise we'd be making a circle and then you'd have everything be very discontinuous, which is not what you want for a spiral at all. So for the next stage, if you will, we can actually start with anywhere. What might be best is once you've completed a stage, you might want to sort of de-spin things around so that all of the yarn sort of separates up pretty nicely, and then go from there, and then with each stage just return it however sort of works, and then continue on from that. So I'm going to start with orange again, and then what we're going to be doing for this one is we're going to be making 3 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches essentially, and then we're going to be making 2 half double crochets in the next stitch after that. So what we're going to be doing is working into the next color, so we're not going to be making any slips and chains, you know, that's not going to work out, so we're just going to be working straight up onto the next colors. So here, so ooh, I maybe shouldn't have picked black. Let's try something else. Let's try red. Here we go. So we're going to be making a half double crochet into this single crochet right here, and what that's going to do is make everything sort of flow nice and smoothly. So there's 1 half double crochet, there's 2 half double crochets there, and then we're going to make a 3rd one, and then an increase half double crochet. So there's 1 there, and then there's a 2nd one there. The reason I'm stopping here now is because of course we can't go on to making the next stitches until this orange stitch is completed his sort of stage, you know, with the 3 half double crochets, then the increase over onto the black bit. So we can't actually progress with this color until we finish the one in front of it, and that's how you're going to continue the repeat. So we're going to go on to this orange color and then do exactly the same thing. So in the first single crochet we make a half double, and then we do 2 more very similar to that, and then in the next stitch we're going to be making a half double increase. 1, 2. Okay, let's continue on with the black one. 3 half double crochets. 2, 3, and then a 2 half double crochet increase. Oh, my voice is breaking. There we go. And then we're going to continue on with the red. Great, so we've got 1 more. What you can see now is because we've extended them out, we now have space to work the next stage, which is kind of annoying with spirals, but you do have to deal with it if you want them. Actually, with this one, now that we have, with this black one, now that we have the extra space, we can go straight on to the second sort of stage of crochet. So we'll just do the 3 half double crochets here. 1, 2, 3, and then a increase again. 1, 2. Great. And so ideally you could just go on to the second bit over there, but because it's with black yarn, I don't think you'd be able to see it very well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to the red again and then complete the next stage with that one. So your work should look somewhat like this, sort of hexagonal in a way, which is pretty cool. What we're now going to be doing is exactly the same thing here. So we're going to be doing 3 half double crochets, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. And then we're going to be doing a half double crochet increase. So just like before, we're going to be doing half double crochet, 1, there's the second one, and here is the, oops, the third one over here. And then we're going to be doing an increase. 1, whoops, 2. There we go. So you can see we've got the increase half double crochet from the previous stage, 1, 2, 3, and then a double over here, 2 of them over here. We should have 2 stitches left to work in. We won't work in those because I want this pattern to be, you know, as easy to follow as possible, and so if we make everything exactly the same, you know, the same repeats, it can be a little bit easier on the mind, in my opinion. So we're going to do that again and repeat that for the other colors. So we're going to do 1 half double crochet in one, second half double crochet in the next, oops, and then third half double crochet, and then we're going to make our increase. 1, 2. That's great. And then we're going to continue that on for all the other colors. And this is essentially the rhythm of the spiral that we're going to be doing, continuing on. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going on to the next sort of, completing the next sort of round, if you will, up until the point where we reach, we're back in the same position as we were with each color. So we're going to be making the black yarn, continuing round and round and round until we get to roughly the starting point. And that's when I think we would have had enough of all of the crocheting and we will want to finish off the ends. Four, oops, and then 2 half double crochets over here. Let me check that I've just done the right one. Yep, that all looks nice and even. So there's the, how many, 1, 2, 3, 4th round. And so now we're going to repeat that 4 half double crochet, then increase 6 more times if you want to get it all the way back to the starting point, but you don't necessarily have to actually do that now. It's actually pretty circular, and you can stop it at any time provided you've done all of the colors the same amount of times. So let's actually continue on for a couple more times. I won't do the full thing because otherwise this tutorial would be a couple hours long. So 1, 2, 3, get some more yarn, 4, and then increase again. 1, 2. There we go. That's one of them done. We're roughly around halfway from the starting point. So now we're going on to orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then increase. Oh, oops, there we go. 1. Oh, caught some of the black yarn. Oh no, there we go. 2. There we go. Now moving on to the black yarn. Okay, so there's one more round completed, I think. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so you can see that the spiral is still building up. Now we actually do have enough stitches to do multiple repeats, so multiple rounds at one time. So rather than just doing 4 and then an increase and then switching on to the next color, which can take a bit of time, switching colors takes a while, you can actually just do it 2 at a time now, I think. So let's do that instead. 2. Okay, so we've done each color twice in one go. Pretty good. Okay, so for the next bit we just need to do one more repeat and then we'll be back. Oh no, 2 more and then we'll be back to where we are. For the sake of time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that to you and I'm just going to quickly show you how to finish things off. So the way that we're going to finish things off is slowly decrease the size of the stitches. Oops, I'm wobbling the camera. Decrease the size of the stitches until we're left with just a slip stitch, and that's going to slowly smooth things out because you can see it's a little bit jaggedy over here, and we don't want that with the disc. Everything's nice and smooth. The way that we're going to do this, I'm going to start off with red so you can see things. Whoops, I'm getting a bit shaky now. This is a good arm workout. We're going to be doing 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 there, 1 there. A single crochet in each of the 4 next stitches. And then we're going to do a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches, and that last one we can use to fasten off as well. So I'll just show you how to do that. So 2 half doubles, 1, 2. So there's no increased stitches in any of this, I'll just let you know. Then 4 singles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 slip stitches. So 1 slip stitch there, 2 slip stitch there, and then we can fasten off. And actually it's best if you fasten off now here and cut the yarn so that you don't have to deal with all of this anymore. So I'll just grab my yarn. Let's make sure we get the right one. There we go. Remove that yarn and get it out of here, pull through. And there we go, we've sort of circled it out and smoothed it up a bit by decreasing the size of the stitches, which is pretty good. And so we're going to repeat this 6 more times. Nope, 5 more times. Can't do any more addition now. So 2 half doubles, 1, 2, 4 singles, 1, 2, 3, more yarn, 4, and then 2 slip stitches, 1, 3, 2, chain and fasten off again, come through and remove that yarn from here. There we go. So that's 2 of them done, looking nice and neat. Oh, this is very tangly, but it won't be for long. Yarn, 4, and then 2 slip stitches, 1, 2, fasten off. Great. Oops. Okay, so we finally completed the protoplanetary disc. I'll leave the weaving of ends up to you because we don't want this to go on for too long, and I'm pretty sure you know how to weave in ends. Just remember to weave in the ones right around the base and then also the ones at the edge. But yeah, this completes our protoplanetary disc. It was pretty challenging, you know, working 6 tails at a time, but I hope that you've been able to follow with me and make this really cool physics model. So comparing it to the full one that I made where I did all 6 repeats, sorry. It is only just a tiny bit larger, but I mean, they're both pretty cool and pretty circular. I like the colors of this one though. It's way more vibrant, even more vibrant in the camera as well, which is quite funny. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that. As something that if you really want to increase the sort of accuracy of the model itself, what you can do is actually put a wire in the final row of stitches, and with that what you can do is wobble the disc a little bit, make it a little bit wobbly and wonky, which is a little bit more what you'd see in space itself. I haven't done a good job there. There we go. Well, I've tried my best. But yeah, so that concludes the video. I hope this helped as a supplementary material to the pattern itself, and I hope if it clears up some confusion, that would be great. Let me know what you think and if you enjoyed this, and I will hopefully, can't see my other protoplanetary disc, but I'll show you how to make a late stage disc once I figure out the pattern for that, where it's a little bit more 3D and it requires stuffing at loads of bands, which is pretty fun. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and I shall see you soon.